What's going on, y'all? Today we are going to do a much needed service on my 2011 GTI. As you can see, I've already got it on ramps. Don't worry about that part. And before we get started, I'm going to change my hat. Go USA. Alright, now for the oil change specifically, I'm using Liquimoly 5W40. I have a Napa Gold oil filter and of course a replacement oil drain plug. I'll also be doing the spark plugs today, so I have these NGK Iridiums. It's been running a little rough recently, so hopefully this helps. Before I get under the car, the first thing I want to do is pop the hood. Hood strut works. I'm also going to remove the engine cover. Still a little warm, that's okay. Before I remove the oil filler cap, I'm going to get under the vehicle and remove the drain plug. Dirty oil. Alright, and while that's draining, I need to go get my tool for removing the filter. So there are three primary types of oil filter wrenches. This is a tension wrench, which is the one I'm going to try and use first, where it creates tension around the oil filter to grip it and take it off, which I prefer that over this style. This is the cap style where you put it on top. There's a place to put a socket right in there. And then this is one where it will grip it with these teeth and you can rotate it that way. But first, let's try with the tension wrench. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my oil rag and put it around the bottom of the oil filter that's in there so that I limit how much oil drops down underneath the vehicle. And on top of that, I'm also going to put my cardboard underneath where the oil filter is, just in case, because I don't want to get any oil on the floor of my garage. So we got the tension on there. See if this was really torqued down hard or not. And it's not rotating. Come on, baby. Come on, you can do it. It's in there pretty good. Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. Take this off and see if I can do the rest by hand, which I can. Alright, let's not spill everywhere. Please don't spill everywhere. Okay, nice. Good. Didn't get any, which is good. I think last time I removed an oil filter, I had to stab it with a screwdriver to rotate it, and that just got oil everywhere. But this looks pretty good. So nicely done. Now put this over here. Now what I like to do when I replace my oil filters is I like to take a little dab of oil, put it around the rubber. Sticking your finger in there, getting some oil on it. Not a whole lot. Put it around here. That also helps create a seal. Now, I think I used to pour a little bit of oil in the filter. Don't think that's necessary anymore. So I'm just gonna put this filter on here. All right, let's check the torque specs for the oil filter. I think usually people just do a good and tight. All right, so it's about 11 foot-pounds. There. I think that's good enough. And I guess we'll find out when the oil starts exploding everywhere in the engine bay, which I don't really want to find out, but it's all good. Okay, next step before pouring the oil back into the engine, got to put that oil drain plug back on. The torque spec for the oil drain plug is 50 Newton meters or 37 foot-pounds. Well, it's like 36.8, but you never want to use a torque wrench for strict loosening or tightening of bolts. You're just gonna mess your torque wrench up. So what you want to do is take your regular ratchet it down until you can't get it no mo, and then take the torque wrench and make sure it's torqued down to spec. You'll know when it's not torqued down to spec if you start leaking oil all over the place, which is what we're trying to avoid. But okay, so that's in there. Torque wrench set to 25, 30, 35, 36, 7-ish. Alright, that click means that it is torqued down to spec. Hopefully. Guess we'll find out. Alright, oil filter is on and tight. Drain plug is on and torqued down. I think we are ready to add our oil. Google says 4.9 quarts. This is 5.28 quarts. So, I don't need the whole thing. And what I will do is just start pouring, and then we'll check the level. And then if I need to add more, I will. Oh yeah, no mess, baby. Let's go. Fresh oil coming your way. I think in the past I have overfilled my oil and I got some really bad exhaust, like oil burnt exhaust. It's like so smoky it was billowing out behind me. It was really embarrassing. Granted, that was on my GLI, my 2012 GLI. Let's see where we're at here. So that's probably about half so far. I'm just gonna do a little bit more. Alright, you gotta check the oil level with the dipstick, if it'll cooperate. Always wanna wipe it off before actually taking a reading. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Alright, let me take all this stuff out of the engine bay. Before I start her up, I want to do the spark plugs. That way I can close this all up and be good to go. So, what I need to do is I need to go retrieve my coil pack removal tool, which is out in my shop. That isn't quite ready to be a shop yet. I'll be right back. Alright y'all, took the GTI out for a little test drive after completing the maintenance, and I gotta say, it purrs now. It sounds so good. I'm glad I got some fresh spark plugs in there, fresh oil, brand new oil filter. Checked it when I got back, no leaks under the car, which is great. I'm happy with the result. Next bit of maintenance that I probably should do is a brake fluid flush, although that is my least favorite thing to do on a GTI because the brake fluid nipples on the calipers are very difficult to reach, but I think we can get that done. I'm also going to get the front and rear windshield replaced sometime soon, preferably before the rain comes, and then I'd like to start working on that paint. Now, between now and then, I'm going to put the GTI up for sale. If you follow me on Twitter, and if you've seen my most recent streams on Twitch, you'll know I've been looking at a GR86. Again, yes, I know. I sold my last one. I wish I didn't. So, I would be selling this GTI in order to put a large down payment on the GR86. Ideally, I get $7,500, $8,000 for the GTI, and that'll let me bring the price of the GR86 down to, well, as long as they're not tacking on any markup. Right now it's listed for $35K, so it would bring it down to $27K, which I can manage that. So hopefully over the next month and a half, I can, while I'm working on the GTI, also try and get it sold. Right now, the next maintenance I have scheduled for the GTI is an alignment, which is going to happen August 10th. So really, anytime after that would be ideal to have it sold between August 10th and the end of September when this GR86 is supposed to get here. So looking forward to that. My wife, I don't think she's too happy about it, but it's okay. We'll make it through. So big takeaways from doing maintenance on your own vehicle. Number one, torque specs are important. Make sure you get those torque specs down before you start your maintenance, just so that you have an idea of what you need to be looking for. Two, if you're changing your oil, make sure you put the oil drain plug back in the oil pan before you start filling up the oil. I haven't done that where I started filling up the oil before I put the oil drain plug in, but I've seen other people do that before, and it's best to learn from other people's mistakes. And number 3, always make sure you have the right tool for the job. If you don't have the right tool for the job and you try and finagle it some other way, it's going to take you at least 3 times as long, if not 10 times as long, to finish the same job. I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know if you would like to see more DIY videos like this, but please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Challenge yourself and get better every day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.